Hello friends, welcome to this session of research methodology, and in this session we'll discuss study designs. We all know that research is to improve human knowledge, and we have previous knowledge with us. We do observations. Based on our observations and our previous knowledge, we develop an idea and do research on that idea to increase knowledge levels. We develop an idea based on our previous knowledge, based on our observations. Then we think over that idea, we do the literature search to know more what other people have done in that particular field. Then we go for brainstorming. We discuss with our friends, we discuss with our teachers, we discuss with our relatives about our idea. By discussions, by brainstorming, we know more about that particular topic. And I advise you that you literally eat brain of your friends or your teachers or your relatives and know more about your idea. Discuss with all available peoples, all those peoples which are near you, and try to know more about that idea. And based on all that, you will develop a research problem. That research problem shall be as precise as possible. And when you develop the research problem to tune your research problem, to optimize your research problem, you go for literature search again. Literature search will be there throughout your work. You will go on finding the literature, you will go on trying to know more about your observations, know more about the results which you got, and for that you have to do the literature search. And based on your discussion with your friends, based on your literature search, based on the very precisely designed research problem, you will go for study design. Study design depends on the statement of your research problem, on the direction in which you want to tackle your research problem. Study design is very important part of your research. If you don't design your study properly, then your research will be very difficult. And according to study design, according to the methods which are there in the study design, you will go for data collection. Data collection you can do through observational studies or through experiment interventional studies also. That will be determined by the research problem which you want to tackle. Then after data collection, there comes the data analysis. There are different methods of data analysis, different tools are available for data analysis. And data analysis will provide you knowledge about your data, will provide you ability to interpret that data. And after analysis of that data, interpretation will be there, discussion of those results which you obtain will be there, and these results you will publish, you will discuss, and publication of your results, how to write reports, we will discuss in our other course, that is scientific communication. And at the end, you will discuss future prospects of the work which you have done, and that will be the direction for other peoples to take your work further. And here is a cartoon that will be very useful. Here many people resist improvements, many people resist using new tools. They think that learning new tools will be wastage of time, will be wastage of labor also, will be wastage of funds also, but that's not so. If you learn tools, then your work will be very easy. I emphasize here that for your research you need to understand the research process, what are different uh, areas of research, what are different skills necessary for research, and those you have to learn. You have to spend your time learning new tools to improve your work, to improve, to reduce time, to reduce labor, and to improve, increase quality of your work. And here that learning curve is there. When you use old tool, you are familiar with old tool, you may be expert in old tool, and because of that old tool your efforts will be lesser and lesser and lesser. And this is for old tool, curve for old tool. And with new tool, initially you will have to spend more time, you will have to spend more work also, more efforts also, and uh, you will not get results similar to your old tool. But when you go on using your new tool, you will learn more about new tool, and suddenly you will find out that your new tool is working more efficiently than your old tool, and your new tool is optimized for your work, to reduce efforts of your work, to improve quality of your work, and at the end you will find that quality of your work out or magnitude of output of your work will be very high. Therefore, I urge you to learn new tools for research, and those new tools are LaTeX and R. Okay. Earlier, you were using Microsoft Word or Microsoft PowerPoint, Microsoft Excel for your research work, but LaTeX is sufficient for Microsoft Word, uh, is a good alternative for Microsoft Word and Microsoft PowerPoint, and R is very good alternative for Excel, and R is free, and its graphics abilities are uh, very high, very high quality. Therefore, I request you to learn these two tools before starting your research or during your literature survey and other things. And here we will be there to the outline of our lecture. In this lecture, we'll define study designs. Then we'll learn important terms which are required to understand study designs. Those are variable. Then different types of study designs like observational and experimental studies. Then descriptive and analytical studies. Then directionality of the study designs. It is very important to understand. Then prospective versus retrospective study designs. That is part of directionality only. We'll understand that. And based on that, we'll know more about classification of study designs. Then we'll know more about observational designs, that is exploratory studies, descriptive studies, analytical studies, case series, code studies, case control studies, then cross-sectional studies. Experimental studies, our focus will be there. Then experimental studies are randomized trials. Then quantitative studies we'll try to know more about, and qualitative studies we'll try to know more about. Then systematics reviews. This is very uh, many people, science people underestimate systematic reviews. Systematic reviews itself is a research. Itself is a research study design. You analyze previous data very systematically, previous literature very systematically, and out of that you derive conclusions. Without going to laboratory, you can do your research if you go for the systematic reviews. And here we are there in definition of study designs. Study design is a process wherein the trial methodology and statistical analysis are organized to ensure that the null hypothesis is either accepted or rejected, and the conclusions arrived at reflect the truth. Okay. It's a process wherein our trial methodology and statistical analysis are organized to ensure that the null hypothesis is either accepted or rejected. Our goal is to first do the literature survey to develop the null hypothesis, and then do the research, do the experiments or observations and all those to accept or reject that null hypothesis. And our study design is for that. It's a systematic organization of methods and statistical analysis to arrive at a conclusion which will reflect the truth. Then second definition is research study design is a framework. It's a framework. It's a systematic framework or the set of methods and procedures used to collect and analyze data. Two parts are here. One part is methods and procedures for collection of data. That is very important. And another part, which is also very important, that is the methods and procedures for analysis of data. Most of the science people, again, I say that underestimate importance of analysis of data. I request you to learn methods which are required for analysis of data. Without analysis of data, your work is of no use. Therefore, this definition says that research study is a framework which will arrange your methods for analysis, for collection analysis of your data on the variables specified in a particular research problem. This definition focus on the research problem because all your methods for data collection and data analysis are dependent on the particular research problem which you have defined earlier. And this is the flow chart for classification of study designs, and these questions are very important. Before starting your experimental work, your study design should be there, should be at place. Okay. Spend as much as time possible to get accurate research problem, and then to arrange your methods as a study design. That's very important for success of your research. Your experimental time or time required for data collection and time required for data analysis will be very less. Efforts will be very less if you have very good study problem and study design. Therefore, understand this uh, flow chart as much as possible. Spend your time here more. Did investigator assign exposures? Most of the time you will be the investigator. If you are going to assign the exposure, then your study will be experimental study. If you are not going to assign exposure, if you are going to observe effect of the earlier exposure or naturally occurred exposure, then that will be the observational study. If you are actively involved in changing the conditions, then that will be the experiment. If you are not actively involved in the changing condition, changing the conditions, changing levels of variables, then that study will be the observational study. In experimental study, if random allocation is there, then that will be randomized control trial. If you are allocating the subjects to different variables, different levels of those variables, then that study will be randomized control trial. If you are not going to allocate your experimental subjects to different conditions, then that will be non-randomized control trial. And here you will get very true data, very reliable data if you randomize your subjects. If you don't randomize, then your results may not be extrapolated to population. Okay? And if you go for observational studies, then if you are comparing the groups, then that will be analytical study. If you are not comparing different groups, then that will be descriptive study. You will just describe the population in terms of variables which are there, which are occurring naturally, different levels of variable which are occurring naturally. But if you are comparing groups, then that will be analytical study. And based on direction of the analytical study, the analytical study can be classified as cohort study. If exposure is before the outcome, if outcome is there and you know the outcome and you want to study the exposure effect of exposure, then that will be the case control study. And if exposure and outcome are at the same time, then cross sectional study will be there. Okay. uh, we'll move further. Try to understand as much as possible about these different study designs. We'll discuss this in next sessions also, and I will provide you material to understand more about this. The first term, which is very important to understand, that is variable. First is independent variable. Independent variable is a variable where variation is not dependent on other variables. Independent variables are also called as predictor variables. These predictor variables will be used to predict the variation in the output variable or response variable or dependent variable. Independent variable variation is not dependent on other variables. Confounding variables, these variables cannot be controlled in the research study. If you want to control those, then your efforts will be increased, your cost of research work will be increased. Therefore, for confounding variables, control group is necessary. This control group is necessary. That will be the same to the test group, but differ only in the variable being tested. Okay. Control group is there, test group is there. Only difference is the variable being tested. Your control group will not be exposed to the variable, will be exposed to the placebo, and your test group will be exposed to the variable. Then control variable is the variable which is not intended to be studied in the research study. For example, we may not want to study effect of temperature on particular outcome. Therefore, that effect of temperature will be the control variable. Sometimes we may not want to study effect of age on the outcome, effect of age of person or effect of age of that culture, effect of age of that inoculum on the outcome. Outcome may be yield. If you don't want to study, then those controlled variables are held at a predefined level for all individuals being studied. For all the study subjects, that control variable level shall be same. Yeah, that control variable shall not be responsible for variation. Then dependent variable, this is also called as outcome variable as we discussed, or response variable, and this variable is measured or observed. The variation in the outcome variable is considered due to the effect of predictor variable. And you have to take care of confounding variable and controlled variables so that these two variables shall not be the reason for variations. If these are reasons for variations, then interpretation of results will become very difficult and your results will not be reliable. Therefore, your focus will be on independent variable and dependent variable, and at the same time will control the confounding variables, and by keeping their level same across your test and across your control group. Your study design has to take care of this. Then here more about dependent and independent variable. Here concentration is the single variable which is independent, and concentration, changes in concentration will determine changes in absorbance. And we can say that changes in concentration are responsible for changes in observation. Therefore, concentration is the independent variable and absorbance is the dependent variable. Variation in absorbance is determined by the variation in concentrations, whereas variation in concentrations are not determined by absorbance. Therefore, concentration is independent variable and absorbance is dependent variable. And here two different variables are independent one. Here presence of carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, sulfur. This is one independent variable, and different organisms like alfalfa, bacteria, and human. This is other independent variable. And these two independent variables determine the variation in composition, elemental composition in living organisms. Okay, there are two independent variables are controlling variation in the dependent variable in one dependent variable. Okay, here also example of two independent variables and one dependent variable, that is inhibition zone. And this inhibition zone, variation in inhibition zone can be explained by variation in these different fractions and variation in the different plates, different organisms. These are Bacillus subtilis, chickpea, E. coli, P. aeruginosa, and S. aureus. We'll explain this experiment later on. Then another important term we need to understand, that is the difference in observational and experimental studies. Observational studies are those studies in which changes in variable takes place naturally and without any manipulation by the researcher. Researcher is not engaged actively. Experimental study levels of one or variables are deliberately changed by the researcher to study the effect of the change. Then that will be the experimental study. Then the researcher manipulates the exposure. He or she allocates subject to the intervention or exposure group, and these are also called as randomized control trials. Randomization is necessary to improve quality. We discussed there. Improve reliability of your results. We discussed earlier. Subjects are allocated to two or more groups to receive an intervention or exposure, and then followed up under carefully controlled conditions. For life science research, for plant sciences, we can divide our plants into different groups. For one group will assign one condition, and for other group will not assign that condition. Therefore, other group will be the control group, and the group to which we assign different levels of variables will be called as the test group. Okay. And there we are actively engaged in changing levels of the variables. Therefore, this will be called as the experimental. And I will go for another session on experiment because experiments are very important for science students. If uh, the assignments are randomized and blinded, then we have the potential to control most of the biases that can occur. Randomization and blinding along with replication, these are the important terms, important concepts for experimental studies. If you go for those concepts, if you use those concepts in our experimental design, then experimental design have the potential to control for most of the biases that can occur in the study design. We have to remove those biases. We have to take care of those biases to make our results as reliable as possible. And then the study design controls this. This actually depends on the quality of the study design and implementation of the study design. Therefore, randomization and blinding is very essential in experimental designs. And analytic observational studies are there where the researcher simply measures the exposure or treatments of the groups. And researcher compares those. But here, researcher do not manipulate exposure or intervention. And these analytical observational studies include case control studies, cohort studies, and some population called as cross-sectional studies are there. And these studies all include matched groups of subjects where two groups are controlled together, are compared. Control group and test group, or other groups are also there. We compare those different groups, and then those will be called as analytical observational studies. and they assess association between exposure and outcomes. Then observational studies are there. In observational studies, investigator investigate and record exposures such as interventions or risk factors and observe outcomes such as disease as they occur. In life sciences, we may have previous data available with us, and based on that previous data, if we are trying to know more about it, to know more about particular variation, then that study will be called as observational study. And these observational studies may be purely descriptive or purely analytical. Then observational studies are non-analytic and descriptive study, and this does not try to quantify the relationship, but try to give us a picture of what is happening in a population. For example, prevalence, incidence, or experience of particular trait in a group. These include observational studies include case reports, case series, qualitative studies, and surveys, cross-sectional studies. And these studies measure the frequency of several factors and hence the size of the problem. These studies may sometimes also include analytic work, also include comparison between different groups, as we discussed earlier. And these observational studies, which are analytical in nature, attempts to quantify relationship between two factors, the effect of intervention or exposure on the outcome. Okay. Intervention is the change in levels of variables, deliberate change carried out by the researcher on the levels of variables, and effect of those variables on outcome will be studied and will be quantified. To quantify the effect, we'll need to know rate of outcomes in a comparison group as well as the intervention or exposed group, uh, probability of occurrence or ratio of different outcomes. We have to study that. When the researcher actively changes a factor, then that study will be experimental, and when the factors are not changed by the researcher, the study will be called as purely observational. Then direction is there. uh, Here the title is different. The title shall be directionality of the experiment, directionality of the study. Here forward direction study, the researcher starts with determining the exposure to a risk factor and then assess whether the outcome occurs at a future time point. Researcher assign the subjects to different exposures or different risk factors or different interventions, different levels of variables, and then will assess whether the outcome occurs at the future time point. Here, direction of the study will be forward, will be in the direction of the outcome. The design is known as a cohort study. Cohort is a group of people together. We'll discuss cohort later on. For example, a research can follow a group of smokers or a group of non-smokers to determine the incidence of lung cancer in each in future time. Backward direction study, that outcome is known, that this group is having cancer, the other group is having doesn't have cancer, and then those groups will be studied for the exposure, for the changes in for the different levels of variables. Okay. And these are known as case control studies, also backward studies. For example, a research identify a group of non-normal weight babies and a group of low birth weight babies, and then ask the mothers about their dietary habits during the index pregnancy. And microbiologists can do the research. That microbiologists know that this particular condition is there in the field, and will try to know more about the field. Will measure levels of different variables in that field responsible for that particular effect. That will be the backward direction study. Outcome is known, and that outcome will be explained by knowing the conditions which occurred there in the previous time. That will be the backward direction study. Then this can be called as prospective and retrospective studies. If exposure is earlier and then you are going to study outcome, if you are exposing at this time point and you are studying the outcome in future, then that will be the prospective study. You are going in the direction of the time. If you are going back in the time, if you know the outcome and you want to know the levels of exposures, and if you want to associate levels of exposure which have occurred previously, then that study will be called as a respective study, retrospective study. Then observational studies are there. The timing of the research in relation to the development of the outcome, I will determine that. Prospective studies, the outcome, and sometimes even the exposure intervention has not occurred when the study starts, and participants are followed up over a period of time to determine the occurrence of outcomes. There is follow-up of participants, and interventional study has to be by definition a prospective study. Experimental studies are these. Typically, most cohort studies are prospective studies, and retrospective studies outcome occurs, and we want the exposure in the previous time. We want to study the we study the exposures which are there in previous times. Therefore, these studies will be called as retrospective studies, and most of the uh, studies based on particular diseases, or where we cannot deliberately put our research subjects, study subjects to particular condition, those studies will be done retrospectively. Retrospective studies do not involve follow-up of participants, and a confusion will be there in the terms of prospective and retrospective studies, and that confusion because the process of enrolling cases or assigning the subjects and controls over a period of time, that we may tend to think that this particular study is prospective one, because here if you want to know effect of particular soil type on yield, then we will go on finding different soil types uh, occurred there. But here we may have know the yield of that particular crop. Therefore, this study will not be retrospective, will not be prospective. This will be retrospective because we know the yield. We are just trying to know different soil types and all that work. Yeah. Hence, the use of these terms, prospective and retrospective, many people try to avoid. And here, if we try to delve further, we ourselves will develop the confusion. One must be clear that the terms relate to workflow for each individual study participant and not to the study as a whole. Then these questions will make it clear that whether our study is observational or not, interventional or not, or prospective or not. Does the study describe the characteristics of a sample, or does it attempt to analyze the relationship between two variables? If it describes the characteristic of sample, then that will be observational one. If relationship is to be analyzed, if relationship is to be quantified, then that will be analytical one. If no, if we don't want to analyze, then that study will be descriptive one, and all that. I will skip this one. And now we are there to know more about observational designs. I will stop here in this session because this session is going lengthy. Go through it many times to know more about different study designs. And this is very essential to make our work easy to do. Okay. Learn more about study designs to increase quality of our research work. We'll stop here. If you like this video, then please press the like button. Share this video with your friends. And I again request you to like this video. I'll stop here. Thank you.